Someone's down there. Let's go. Boom, baby, boom. Rise and shine. I'm out here in Berlin, and it's almost time. This is almost the end of the day here. This is like my last full day in Berlin. Got the Bavarian skies. I'm headed to the Reichstag. I have my appointment. I'm already late for, but this is life. I didn't get to bed till like 4 o'clock this morning watching the UFC fights. And shout out to Robbie Lawler, dude. Fucking just smashed that dude on the top of the head and just crumbled him. And I'm screaming at the bar like, yes! You know what I mean? And everybody was like, what the fuck's going on? What's going on is your boy Sane ain't a killer no more, man. I don't have the killer instinct. Pulled the girl. She walked past. She was extremely friendly, smiley, invited me over to her house. We got some weed. She was buying some weed. We go out to the park. We're sitting there. Everything's vibing. She's a tourist. I'm a tourist. And I get hungry. And she said she didn't want to eat. She wanted to drink a beer. I said, okay, I'll eat. I'll meet up with you later. By the time I met up with her, she was already making out with some dude, some tall, skinny, chest hatted Brazilian dude. And that was it. Your boy Saint wasn't a closer. And that's why I had to have this conversation. I can't have much of the conversation with my friends because they don't take games seriously and they just want to tease and go, you fucked up, Marky, you fucked up. And I'm like, bro, I talked to fucking over 40 women yesterday. How fucked up can it be? I'm trying to pat myself on the back here and you're being microaggressive. It's what I'm dealing with this morning. But before I get into the Reichstag, I wanted to go live at the Reichstag, but I don't know what kind of connection I get. I'm supposed to like download something called Prism or something. I'm letting all the phones charge up, but it's hard to do, dude. It's hard to. I'm just gonna record it on this phone and see what happens. Just the clearest form I can get it and go in it on that way. But apparently, where the Reichstag is right next to the Brandenburg Gate. And guess what? There was like 1 million people out there for a fucking Rave the Planet event. And I didn't even know. So your boy Saint was feeling left out and missing my shots and kind of getting down on myself because I do get hard on myself and like, why didn't I push this girl? I was feeling attracted to her. I wanted to close the gap and kiss her. Why is it so far away? And she hugged me and we walked away and I basically primed her for some other dude to earn her. And I'm really mad at myself. And then my buddy said, not for nothing, you were kind of getting nervous about talking to girls in Helsinki, and now you're out here in Berlin just killing the game. So it was one of those things where my confidence is working on itself, but there's got to be something in life where you close deals. It's not a big deal to just open deals. For most people, that's the hardest part, but closing deals. And for some reason, I think I feel insecure. Maybe it's my financial situation. Maybe it's my ball size. Maybe it's my mental. I'm not quite sure, but I get nervous. I really do. I get the anxious, and I find it tough to get intimate with people and close that gap and allow them to touch me too. And here I am admitting my flaws to the world again, but it's just true. I'd love to say that every time I touched a girl or talked to them, they were sucking my dick, but that doesn't happen. And unfortunately, it's kind of a flow thing. And my buddy's like, yeah, well, I'm getting laid a lot, but these are all girls that I've known all over the years. If I was there in Berlin, I wouldn't have anybody to fuck on too. And I said, well, shit, dude, here we are trying to figure it all out. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to figure it the fuck out. And it's a tough thing to do. Let's go. So what's it take to be a closer? Well, I know I used to sell cars and you would bring in somebody that was really good at talking and they would close the deal. And that's what it's calling about, closing the deal. And that's what I'm trying to get to as a man, is to leave it man versus woman and flirt more and insinuate sexual innuendos and make jokes and make them laugh. And I was making her laugh and we were touching each other, knees, hands, arms. It was getting there, but she felt like 2 feet away. It wasn't like we were cuddling up and I could go in for a kiss. I just met this chick, and maybe that's my thing too, is I think maybe I just met, some chicks love that shit. Some chicks are like, this is spontaneous. This is exciting. This got my brain in overload. Instead, she wanted to drink beer, and part of me didn't want to risk my sobriety. And that's something that happened last night. My buddy's like, hey, first the cocaine's coming, 5 grams. Buy taxi. Okay. Then comes the first girl. Then comes 2 other girls. 3 taxis are coming. It's like, where am I going to sleep? Turns out he went somewhere else with it, but it was one of those things where it's like, hell yeah, I want to do some hookers and blow, and you just ordered a couple girls from catalogs and you paid out your ass to do it. Part of me wants to go party with my friend. The other time in Helsinki, I had a chance at a threesome with my buddy, but I wanted him to get laid, so I went home with the other dude that doesn't get laid. Not that I went home with him, but I crashed on his couch and let my buddy have some space so he could be with that girl. It's tough, dude. Closing, it's tough closing. I keep talking about yesterday how we have tough time linking up, and then when you finally do link up, and then you're out in the park and you're on the thing, you're smoking weed and all those things, and then all of a sudden, I walked away. I got hungry. She didn't want to eat. She wanted to drink, and there she was blowing up all my phone, liking up all my pages, being all super supportive. And guess what? Next thing you know, she's making out with some dude. It's all over the place. All of us are all over the place. And I wonder why it's so hard to close, to find someone that just wants to make out with you and wants to start building something with you versus the person that's just like, hi, my energy's all over the place. And I just broke up with this one person, hear the whole life story. And then I'm the guy that's hearing the life story instead of the guy where she's hanging on and kissing. And that's why I had to talk about, because I think everybody likes to think that they're winners. Hold up. And it's not true. To get to this level, you got to lose. There's so many things that you have to lose to learn from. It's not even funny. And I hate losing. Seeing her kiss on that other dude, I was just gutted. And everybody was like, you look mad at the world. And I was just like, no, I'm just mad at myself. Because I had the opportunity, or at least I perceived to have the opportunity I was with that girl. She seemed primed. I guess I could have started drinking and joining her. But then again, right now I'm sober and I'm headed to the Reichstag instead of being hopped up on coke all night. And now I'm on junkie mode, and I spent way too much money on hookers and blow, and that used to be me. That's why it's called Saints Addiction. Everybody wants to act so glamorous, like they had the plan the whole time, and unfortunately that's not how life is. Game is being able to do it in real life, in real time. That's game. What's going to come out of your mouth, and you can't just sit there and calculate and then say the right words. You got to have it fast. You got to be making her laugh. And unfortunately, I didn't capitalize on that. And for something in me, I'm feeling like I need to be more of a closer. I got to be out there and reach for the deals and close the deals. It's not enough to just talk to the smoke shops. I got to get a deal out of the smoke shops. It's not enough to talk to the girls. I got to get a deal out of the girls. It's not enough to do business. I got to get deals out of my business. And that's what's been on my head this whole time. Whoa. This is why I don't like papers. But just lit this thing. Trying to smoke with you guys and have this conversation. But have you ever done that? Have you ever done that where you knocked on the door but you didn't open it? Is there something in your life where you were just like, I need to walk through this door and get to the other side? That's what I'm talking about today. I'm talking about getting to the other side of your fear, the other side of misunderstanding, the other side of self-discipline. And that's what it said this morning when I posted that thing. It said, disappear. What did it say? Go disappear and go have a battle with the man in the mirror. That's me. I'm this man in the mirror. This is me. I'm talking to this mirror right here. I have to battle this guy. I have to battle this guy against sugar. I have to battle this guy against temptation, alcohol. I had battled this guy for positivity. It's one of these things. There's a battle. It's like, can I beat the guy, the old me? Can I stop eating sugar? Can I start to lose the weight? And I feel great. My buddy was down to 64 kilos. Your boy, I can suck it in. Yeah. But no, for real, relaxed. I'm relaxed, and all of a sudden, I'm trying to punch my big old. I got a little bit left, but give me a couple more months not eating sugar, and I've been melting, bro. I've been doing good by myself and sticking to my diet and not eating till 3, and that's why I had to really go eat with that girl, because it's part of my diet, part of my health. She didn't want to do any of that. She didn't want to shift with me, and I think that's part of closing too, is to get the girl from one scene to follow you to the next scene, and that's part of the game too. So building safety, building trust, and being a leader. I always thought I was an awesome leader, and it started to fuck with my head because I'm like, my leaderships, if I wanted to be hard on myself, aren't that good. I wasn't a good leader to my siblings. I was more abusive and controlling, and it was just like what I say goes. And if not, boom, dead leg. And then that's not really how life works. And no wonder why my siblings don't talk to me. I was just too abusive. I'm too controlling. I'm too unsafe. And then I realized, how do I get safe? How do I become a safe guy that can close? How do I become the a killer with the instinct to go for what I want in life and stop hesitating and tell these beautiful women, not only do I think that they're beautiful, but do they model? Do you want to be part of reliable models? I can get you a shirt, these kind of things, clothes. I'm getting a lot of Instagrams. Like I said, I went up 40 on the Mostly Saints. My goal was 100, but I started to sit with that girl, and that was another thing that I was doing, is kind of losing my momentum with her, and I still wanted to talk to a bunch of people. And I ended up talking to more people after I left her, but it's one of those things where it's like I got work to do, and she wanted to just drink. And I'm like, is that what it is? Are you ever threatened by your sobriety because someone else is doing something? And how hard is it to keep your self discipline when everyone else is drinking? Oh, wait. That's what started to dawn on me, bro. I'm starting to get to that position. I'm working my way to it. It's not just the approach. It was hard for me to approach women. You guys hear my story. I'm always talking about talking to beautiful women and how nervous it makes me. Now I'm starting to stay in pocket, starting to ask more questions, get in the game, listening to Todd B fucking videos, breaking down my fight tape, bro. After watching the UFC fights last night, you got to watch your fights. You got to see how you fight. If you put in the work, then you start doing it. Not only is it easy to talk to them, not only is it easy to make them laugh, but it'd be easier to fucking bring them home and do something with it. And that's what I've been learning, is like, how do I do something with this discipline? Do I have enough discipline to push myself further, man in the mirror, and make that guy go to work? Not only go to work, but close a deal. It's one thing to just show up and maybe press the fucking button, check somebody in, take their money. But it's another thing to upsell them and keep them coming back. A lot of women, they can get guys, they just can't keep them. I don't know, that's part of the women game. But for men, it's us to find them and to get one. And I got one and I let it go. I did a catch and release, and I'm mad at myself instead of catch and keep. And that's something that I've been working on. It's just working on my catch and keep. Closing deals is not the easiest thing. Being a closer is a high value asset in life. Whatever you do, you're gonna have to come up against something, and it's gonna test you, see if you got the balls to keep it. And I keep thinking, God gives you everything that you want. Will you be ready to keep it? And it's like one of those things where it was put there in front of me. We were vibing. I was totally vibing her, and next thing I know, she's making out with some other dude, and it was because I walked away. Man, I want to be a closer. I want to be a guy that's not afraid to kiss women. I'm not afraid to be intimate with people, and that's something that I have to work on. I don't know about you guys, but it's one of my blocks, and I talk about all the time. We're talking about battling the man in the mirror, and that man, the old me wasn't loving his life anymore, so I started eating myself to death. And now I'm like, nah, dude, you don't need to do that. But that's what it was feeling like. It felt like I needed to adjust something and get some bravery and reach down and grab my balls, and oh yep, they're still there, and oh yep, they still work, and oh yep, do something with them, do something with my energy, more than just challenging my day and doing something new every day. I want to fucking be able to close motherfucking deals. I want to be able to get some sales from these smoke shops. I want to be able to make my designs go worldwide, and I also want to be successful with women, dude. And it seems to be my weakness, and it's one of those things that I have to work on, so it's not my weakness. You're talking about Saints addiction. It's like there's this thing that's my weakness. How do I get it to be my strength? How do I get to have my inability to close to become an ability to close? How do I become a more ballsier version of myself? I know a lot of people out there, they see stars on the stage and they're like, man, they must have balls to sing in front of the group. How do you become a ballsy motherfucker where you're not afraid of the crowd, and you're not afraid to look foolish to the crowd, so that you can take a chance? And only when you take a chance, Are you able to capture that chance? Are you able to capture the moment, or will you let it slip by? And that's what made Eminem's song so successful. Is this is like you only get one shot, and these shots keep coming past us. And I feel like a lot of us ain't closing our shots. We're just fucking we're breaking, and we got to make our shots. You're not going to be on the NBA long if you ain't making your shots, especially easy layups. And I was really mad at myself last night. I hit on a couple other girls, so I felt better. But it's one of those things where I was just like, not for nothing. I'm still going home alone, and but I'm still sober. And I don't know how that girl's waking up. She looked pretty burnt, being out in the sun and having too many beers. And she said, "I want to go home." And the next thing I know, she wasn't going home. She stayed longer, started making out with the dude. Here's my life. These are the situations. I don't know if you've ever been jealous and you saw a girl and she started making out with somebody else and you thought you had a connection and she went with someone else, or you lost and you didn't take anyone home, or she ran into the night and you guys were two ships missing each other. Uh, I don't know. It's just one of those things that I saw a shot, almost had the shot. Took my shot, but I should have took another shot. And that's what everybody says: shoot your shot. I'm thinking I'm having a tough time shooting shots, man. I gotta learn how to play basketball. For a guy that's only 5'7", I gotta figure out a way to ball with all these talls. You know what I'm saying? I gotta figure out a way to get up over the opponent and still figure out a way to dish it in. What's his name? Bugs? Muggsy Boggs, yeah, well, I forget his name, but man, I need to be able to be the short guy in the NBA, but still fucking get underneath the bigs and make my shot, and that's life. It's not just me. We all got to make our shots. We all got to make rent. We all got to make ourselves do the things that we think that we can't do. We got to be able to follow through with things and land that mothership, so that way we can have a place to be a better version of ourselves. There's got to be a platform that you create. That's why I did this show, create a platform, say, hey, here's going to be a place where I can show off my shirts, show off my adventures, and create a platform where I can shine. Obviously, if I was a fucking YouTuber, I was listening to that one dude, what's his name? John Xerxes. And he was like, I don't even have to fucking close bitches. I just tell them to Google me. And next thing you know, they're giving me blowjobs. If you are a plus one to them, by sleeping with you, they get more followers or fans, or validation or credentials. Then it's easy. It's like, yeah, but he's a star, so I fucked him. Yeah, but he's a important person. He's an influencer. I just said yes. It was a no brainer. You got to ask yourself, women, is my life going to be better by sleeping with you? A lot of men want to sleep with women, but will it be a plus one for them? And that's a thing that you got to create in yourself, is to create your own value. To become a high value target is hard work for men. To become an influencer on social media is even harder. So to get a blue check mark, so that you're verified to society, so other societies see you as a come up, it's really hard to do. Most dudes aren't anything. They're not anything on the radar. They might have an Instagram, but it might be just photos of their dogs. You know what I mean? Fucking joints. And that's what I was talking about today. Is just being a closer, being able to not only open deals, being an opener, but also closing them. So not only you got to grow some balls or some ovaries to open your opportunities, but you also have the balls and opportunities to close them too. And that's one of the hardest things to do, is just to make yourself go through with things and see them through, and having some kind of self-determination and discipline to make those things a reality. And it's hard to do, because a lot of people, they would just say, yeah, I would love to be a porn star. And it's like, damn, now you got like 10 dudes in a room, and you got to fuck like no one's looking. it's going to be one of those hard things, dude. You're going to be hard pressed to be able to pull that off. And like I say, I think one in only 500 dudes can be a porn star to actually be able to become get hard and stay hard and act like no one else is in the room or you don't have a camera up your butthole. Yeah, dude, a lot of dudes would be like, yeah, I'd smash her, dude. She's hot. And then now it's time, and it's like, why is my dick not working? It's like, it's easier said than done. It's easier to say, "Oh yeah, I'd fuck hot bitches. She's hot," and then now it's time to do it, and it's just like, "Oh shit, what do I do?" It's time to do it, bro. It's time to fucking slay the day. It's time to close deals and make sure that you can get yourself in a situation where you can complete something. And it wasn't only to start something, but to finish something. And I find that to be one of the hardest things to do is to stay sober when you're with a beautiful woman and she starts drinking, or to push yourself further so that way you can get the life of your dreams. And that's all I've been trying to do and doing with Saints Addiction, is being able to make my dreams a reality, wear my shirts that I designed, and be the man that I designed, and be the person that I wish to be. I want to be the guy that she's hanging on and making out with. I wish that was my story. And I remember one time I had this one beautiful woman on top of the Rio, and it was a full moon, and I was like, she's like, I'm spontaneous, and I missed the opportunity to kiss her. I had a flash of my ex. It made me sad, and I didn't do it. And I was so mad at myself. I kind of went back and went up to her, gave her a quick peck, but then I backed off of it again. It's like my balls disappeared. My anxiety showed up, and I couldn't be the dude that's like brazen to be shirt off in front of the YouTube every day. Where's that guy when it's time to close? Where's the guy when it's time to be the man? And this is the opportunity to strike. Will you strike it? Will you be able to fucking hit the shot when the shots are open, just like a fighter? Or do you shell up and now you're taking someone else's offense? And I wanted to be on offense. I wanted to be the guy that's got the ball and takes the shot. Just like in basketball, you got to be ballsy. Like, I'm a shot caller. And unfortunately, I'm not as big of a baller or a shot caller as I'd like to be. I wish I was a little bit taller. I wish I was a baller. And it's one of those things where I think we all have those kind of insecurities where we wish we were the Durden of ourselves, this version of ourselves that shows up and is ballsy and has the right thing to say and does the right things and makes the right moves. I wish I was smooth. I wish I was just laying back and girls were on me and I was tall and they would just come around and they would approach me at the bar and slide me their number. Hasn't happened yet. They don't know who I am. So to them, they're like, it's nothing. I'm just fucking another dude getting another notch on my belt, instead of getting a high value man like this guy that actually has a Google following, or actually has a blue check mark, or actually has something of value. Not all women are getting these dudes with blue check marks, but it helps to say that this guy's of higher value. I slept with him because he had a +1 to him, and it made me feel like a -1 or a minus or a B minus, as they would say. What's up, B minus? I don't want to be a B minus. I want to be an A plus. And to be able to do that, just like in school, you got to study harder, you got to try harder, you got to be harder, dude. And that's what I'm talking about, is that inner strength. It's one thing enough to have these guns, but it's another thing to have the balls and to be able to follow through with your shit and say, okay, yeah, sure, it's scary, but let's take a shot. And that's what I've been working on, is taking more shots. I've obviously approached a lot of women yesterday, and it was really cool. That was the first hurdle. Then it was to get the Instagrams. That was the second hurdle. Then it was to sit with them in the park. That was the third hurdle. And then it's to pull them from the park to somewhere else. I didn't clear that hurdle. I didn't pass the test to get the girl to be hanging on me and making out with me. I missed an opportunity. I'd love to sit here and tell you that we continued on to lunch. We had a fabulous lunch. She kept laughing. And after lunch, we went to the park and I made a move on her after she had a couple beers. Is it worth it? Is that what I'm trying to do? Is to sleep with girls that are drinking? She wasn't drinking when I met her, but is that something that you do? Is you have to wait for someone else to get weaker before you get stronger and make a move? Or do you just stay strong and always make moves? And that's what I wanted to do, is be a stone cold killer, a fucking shark, a sniper that's in the water, that knows they're going in for the kill. It's not enough to hunt. You got to put your fucking jaws around the throat so that you suffocate it and eat the impala. That's what I'm talking about, is killer instincts and being able to be a lion amongst sheep. And that's really hard to do because a lot of things scare us. A lot of things like, what if other people are looking? I got over that. That's what's cool about this thing. It's just like everybody's always looking. So I got to keep up on the show anyway. Might as well just watch me. How many of us adjust ourselves because we get nervous? How many of us fuck up our own game because of anxiety? And then all of a sudden we're shooting ourselves in the foot because we assumed or pre assumed a negative outcome instead of pre assuming a positive outcome, and keep churning up positive outcomes and abundances and fruitions and saying, this is going to work, this is going to work, I'm going to make it happen, I'm closing this deal, I'm closing this deal, I'm closing this deal. And that's something that I have to put in a mantra myself and say how mad I was at myself that I missed my own opportunity, so when the next opportunity comes up, that I will actually do something with it, you know what I mean, instead of walking away from it. So I'm one of those people that I get there, I knock on the door, and I wait for the girl to kind of answer, instead of just opening the door, waiting on other people to take charge or to make the shot for me is ineffective. No one can jump into my body and make it do the things that I need it to do. I'm the only one that can do that. So I'm the only one that can make this body get up and go to like the Reichstag, or get up and talk to a woman. And also, now that I'm done talking to a woman, sitting in the park having great conversations with her, making that conversation turn into a relationship, a kissing situation, a more intimate interaction. And I have a tough time with intimacy. I always want to kind of run away from it. It's like, oh, it's getting too close to me, and then I wasn't really doing that, but I really do that. I really do some self sabotage shit, and I have to work on it to be able to get myself away from that guy that sits there and get all regretted, and now he's all gutted, and now he's like fucking watching her make out with some dude, and I'm like, I didn't want to watch, but it was just like watching a fucking car accident. It was just like, oh, that was that was where I was supposed to be, and I missed the opportunity, or I didn't close the opportunity. And nothing's worse than regret. I took action, but I didn't take enough action, and then now I got regret, and I'm sitting here going, what else could I have done to make this girl kiss me? What did he do differently? Maybe she knew him longer and she was drunk and started feeling the situation. I know I definitely primed her, and I know he definitely closed her. And I want to be the guy that primes and closes. I want to be the guy that goes to the bank and have money. I want to be the both things. And I'm sure I'm not the only one who's watching this show when I say this. Like you want to have both, really. You want to have the ability to start it, but you also want to have the ability to finish it. And that's something that a lot of us do. We just go, oh shit, I can't finish a college degree, so why even start? Or I can't have a savings, so why even start? I'm not making enough money. And we tell ourselves these negative what are those called, negative self beliefs, and then we hold them, these truths, to be self evident, instead of making our own truths, making our own reality, and shooting our own shots. So much easier for me to say it right here, right now, and the day after. But when you're in the game, when the pressure's on the line, that's why we love our heroes and our NBA stars or NFL stars, because it's like, now it's time to catch the shot, and you're Odell Beckham, and you reach back and make this marvelous shot. So we all want to be athletic. We all want to be professional sports athletes. We all want to be popular. We all want to be rich. All of us want to have success. And for the rest of us, these regular folks that aren't tall, aren't rich, and still need a mate, still got to take a shot. So it's like, no matter what in life, I think there's going to be multiple times that each one of us is going to have an opportunity to take a shot. It's going to be called upon us to take that shot, and that's what's going to end up happening. Is there's going to be some nerves, there's going to be some pressure, there's going to be a crowd, and there's going to be the guy that either makes the shot and gets the girl and puts a cheerleader on his back, or there's going to be the guy that's in the post conference going like, man, he was the better man. I didn't show up today, and I'm going back to the gym, and I'm going to get better. That's what I seem to hear from all the fighters, when I'm watching them, especially at night. So I'm watching myself in the mirror, making moves, and I'm hard on myself. So yeah, congratulations, Saint. You got more followers and you're sticking to your goals. It's easier for you to approach women. I could do this all day, every day in any city around the world, especially the new system that I set up. But after that, it's also about, following through. And it's not enough to just approach, and it's not enough to get the Instagram, but I need to close. And that's why this finger is all fucking taped up, because it needs work. And we all have areas in our lives that we have to work on. And that's what I'm talking about being a closer in our lives, is closing the gap between what we want and making it a reality. So that's this. Let's close that gap this morning. Let's go out there in real life. I got to get to the Reichstag. I need to take a shower, get my head in the game and all this other stuff. I'm just going to film it with the extra camera just so it's crispy and clear. I've noticed that a lot of my stuff in the museums, I'd love to go live and let you guys see it with me, but I don't think it's going to come out clear at all. And I really want to see this building. I already walked around it and I have an appointment. So do follow later. I'll upload it later. Last time I was fucking 3 hours in the museum. I doubt it's going to be that. I'll probably be there in an hour, but that's the plan. That's what I'm sticking to. I'm sticking to my shot. I'm going to take another one. You should too. Peace and love. I'll see you on the side. Chigathon. Ciao. Blessings. Have a blessed day. Go take a shot.